Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is DJ Sam coming to you with the first installment in 2020 of Letters to My Mother. First, let me say Happy New Year to each and every one of you all. I hope you had a joyous and great New Year's coming in and that you have nothing but prosperity for the remainder of the year. You see, I have a second chair here, which means for the very first time, I have a guest here to read a letter with me. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, I want you to welcome to the chair with me the very first guest reader I have, my youngest daughter, Ryanne Abraham.
I'm here.
Hey, princess. This is the little princess, Ryanne Abraham. I have two princesses, the big princess and the little princess. This is the little princess, Ryanne Abraham. And Ryan is one of my mother's grandchildren who never get an opportunity to meet her grandmother. So what do you think about being here?
I'm excited to learn more about the things that you were writing to Grandma during that time in your life and just, seeing what was going on.
Okay.
And learning a little bit more information.
Oh, excellent. So without further ado, let's pull a letter.
Let's do it. Okay.
Okay.
I've got one.
Okay, so let's see what's going on when I was in the Air Force and at what period this is and exactly what's happening. So start from the very beginning.
Okay. So this is, the date is July 14th of 81. This was also written approximately at 4:30 a.m. So in the wee hours of the night, he felt like writing. Okay, here we go. Hi, Mom. Just writing to let you and everyone else know that I have arrived safely in Spain. So he's in Spain at this time.
Yeah, I had just got to Spain, actually. I got married June the 20th of that year, and I was taxed to be in Spain to leave on the 13th of July to go to Spain, and I had just arrived. So go ahead, dear.
Okay. The trip was okay, except that I kept having bad headaches. They started about 2 days before I left, and the reason I am writing now is because I have one and I can't sleep, henceforth the 4:30 a.m. I think that if they continue like this, I'll go to the hospital and get my head checked out.
I still get that done occasionally. Go ahead.
The country here is pretty nice from what I have seen so far, and I guess I'll learn to enjoy it. You don't have a choice, unfortunately. The only thing is that the Spanish have all the say-so here. The cops on base don't even pull the gates, and the squadron is pretty small.
Now, what that means is that I was stationed in Chanute Air Force Base for a while, and if you ever seen military movies or things like that, you see the military police waving people in and out of the gate and so on and so forth. But when I arrived in Spain, I was really surprised to find that it was supposed to be an American military installation, but we didn't work the gates. We weren't responsible for entry and exit to the gates. It was the Spanish military that had the control over who came into and who left the gates. So go ahead.
Why did they do that, though?
Because we didn't actually own the base. We had what was called a treaty of friendship with them.
Okay.
We built the bases. We built everything on the base.
Yeah.
We had a friendship with them that allowed us to stay in Spain and to operate as a military in Spain. But they were the ones that controlled the installation because they still controlled the land that the installation was on.
Okay, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. Okay, so... But yes, other than that, the people are really nice, so that's cool. I wrote Adrienne and told her that one sergeant even took me out to look at apartments already so that I can start preparing for when Adrienne gets here.
Adrienne was my first wife and my oldest son's mother, and she was actually leaving college to come over to be with me in Spain for my 3-year tour there.
Where did she go to school?
She went to school right out of high school. We graduated in 1979, and she went to college. So she was still in college, but she was going to leave college and come over there to be with me as we just got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing.
Okay.
I would go to Spain. Okay, and so they do have some nice apartments, though they're not high priced if you manage your money right. The only thing I'm looking forward to now is getting Adrienne over here with me without any problems, in parentheses. Even though I think she'll be ready to leave in 6 months after her arrival.
Like she hadn't been away from her mom and dad and her sister and the family ever like that. And I didn't think she was going to last 6 months. Suffice to say, down the road, you'll see how long she lasted.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. One thing that's driving me crazy is that they only have 2 TV channels that are on from 12 noon to 12 midnight. And you know how I love TV, which is very true.
Pretty
He does love
bad.
TV. That's not a lot of time to be having television
Yeah,
programming.
man. It was just had channel
Only
1
12 hours a day?
Channel 1 and Channel 2. That was
Get it together, Spain.
Didn't have to worry about your thumb getting beat up. And that was back in 1981. So
That's true.
Today it's a totally different Spain. They might have like 5 channels, who knows, or 6 or a dozen.
Or they might have Netflix.
Yeah, but for back then it was 2 channels, Channel 1 and Channel 2. So.
I guess you gotta take what you can get. Okay, maybe after Adrienne gets here and we get settled and good, I'll buy a home video to plug into the TV. So we can watch movies when we want to.
That was a VCR back then. For
Yeah.
those of you all who don't
Video.
know, VCR, video cassette recorder. You could play a video on it and you could record on it occasionally. A VCR. Over there, those were the lifeblood of military members. Everybody had a VCR. Everybody had people sending them tapes. And what we did was we had our own video exchange where somebody would say, I've gotten this tape, and you would get and you wait and and then when they got finished exchanging it with somebody, then you'd get it and you give it back to them. So everybody was getting people to send them videotapes with different content on it so that we could have a wide range of content so that when the VHS store or the rental shop was out of it, we could trade amongst each other. And one of the biggest things to get over there was a stereo when you first got there and a VHS player. So go ahead.
It was like an underground blockbuster.
You know it. Come on now.
Okay, one good thing about the TV is that they do show Ryan's Hope and General Hospital. Okay, Ryan's Hope, fun fact for anyone that doesn't know, first off, my name is Ryan. And second is the reason I have the name Ryan is because of the soap opera Ryan's Hope.
She's telling the truth. We just used the
So it's like, what are the odds that I pulled this letter and it addresses him watching Ryan's Hope? Like,
and she wasn't even thought of then.
No,
she was,
I was born in 92.
Yeah, and there's a slightly different spelling on her name, but her name did come from Ryan's Hope.
For those who didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good thing that I didn't bring my car with me because I would never have a place to park it off base. It would have been too wide and too long. I think I'll get me a little piece of something here for about $850 so that Adrienne and I will be able to get around. We definitely need it. Tell Reg to see about getting a loan to pay off the car.
Reg was my best friend, and when I left to go to Spain, he eventually came into the United States Air Force too, but when I left to go to Spain he wasn't in the Air Force, and the car that I had, I left it with him because he was going to buy it from me, and he didn't have a car. So that was my buddy. I couldn't take it. Let me hook my buddy up and go from there.
But until he can keep up the notes, don't wreck it. That is underlined because, like he said, he just loaned his car to his friend.
Yeah, I did.
And he's in another country.
Yeah,
so don't wreck the car.
He was in Chicago.
Yeah. Because it's still in my name, so that's the reason why you don't wreck it. If you can remember to try and find a small plastic black bag with Silberman's on it, the payment book should be in there. If not, look inside the HiFi, on the shadow box, and in the green box because it's in the house somewhere. HiFi? What's HiFi?
HiFi is, before Wi-Fi, there was HiFi. HiFi was high fidelity. That was the sound that came through your stereo. We had these in-cabinet stereo, look like tables or bars or whatever, and slide the top off of it, and you put a record on and played it. It played nice and loud, and you could jam in. Everybody wanted a hi-fi. That was the hi-fi. Now Wi-Fi is like actually the great-great-great-grandfather of hi-fi, grandchild of hi-fi in word retrospect. So
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, I guess I'll be going to sleep for now. I'll be going for now and trying to get some sleep. Right back when you get a chance. And tell everyone hello for me and that I miss them all. Especially you and Dad and the girls, parentheses, and Rena too.
Rena was the very first grandchild. Shirena McDuffie is my sister's daughter. She was the very first grandchild. And actually, she remains the only grandchild out of 17 grandchildren now that had a couple of years of life with my mom. before my mom made her transition. So, well, we're going to eventually try and get Shireen on the show so you all can meet the only grandchild that ever really knew her grandmother besides what these kids learned through stories and pictures and so on and so forth. So that's their oldest cousin. Well, she calls herself their oldest sister.
Yeah,
she always says,
she
says, I'm the oldest sister because she used to be with me all the time when she was a baby. Hence me referencing her in the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember that I love you all. Sam.
Yeah. So
that's Sam.
That
this says son.
Oh. Yeah.
But the O looks like an A and the N looks like an M.
Well, it could have been Sam's son.
It could have been Sam's son.
Samson. Hey, I think I might have to get you for trademarking for
I don't know. Maybe you do.
So let me ask you this, Ryan. Just based on that right there, do you have any questions about your grandmother or something that you heard about her or anything? Because you all have a bit of her personality.
I think I'm interested, like, how often did she write back to you after you wrote to her?
Well, you know what? When I first went in, it's kind of strange because you all will probably hear more letters referenced from me writing her from Spain than when I spent 19 months down at Chanute Air Force Base in Rantoul, Illinois, because I was home. I was so close to home.
Oh yeah,
I worked 6 days, so I could drive home a lot, so I didn't have to write a lot. When we really began our correspondence via letters and things like that was when I went over to Spain. So that was an important time to be able to keep in touch with people. And then there was snail mail. Like today, they can Skype and Zoom and FaceTime and everything, across the world. So they get to talk to their people in no time whatsoever on battlefronts and everything. Whereas then it was like we wrote a letter and we put the letter in the mail and you waited to believe it should be there. And then you waited for a letter to return, or occasionally you did get a chance to go down to the community center that they had on base, and you can sign up on a phone list. And sometimes you might have to wait 2 or 3 hours or something like that, especially on a weekend, before you can get into one of the 4 booths. That's all they had was 4 booths where you were allowed to make a collect call to your family.
Oh,
and
wow.
So and it was always a roll of the dice because there was a time difference that was so huge. You would be calling at a time when you hoped someone was there to answer or someone was awake or whatever. So it was pretty different, and but it was an exciting time because I was getting to go somewhere that I had only heard about and to live there for 3 years. And your grandma was very, very happy, but she was sad that I was away from her. So tomorrow is the anniversary of your grandmother's passing, and so what do you think about that? Because that was a situation that kind of changed everything about your dad and your aunties and the life that we were living at that time. It kind of cast a pall. And do you remember a pall being over you during Christmas time? Because Dad tried to mask it a lot.
No, I never did. I feel like the holidays were always very positive for us. So I think as I've gotten older and as we've, gotten closer and talked more, that I've understood more about the significance of this time of year for you. And so I think it's made me kind of like understand, what, like obviously it's going to be a tough time of year.
Yeah.
And so now I want to, obviously being older and being able to kind of like make our own traditions and hopefully bring some positivity back to that time. Obviously we're still going to remember her, but creating some newer traditions and things that will hopefully bring the spirit back to this time of year.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the mouth of babes. So I want to thank all of you all again for joining me and my daughter Ryanne in this segment of this episode of Letters to My Mother and a letter to her grandmother.
Yeah.
And I'm just really glad that I had my daughter here with me today because she and the rest of my children are really instrumental in how I look at the holidays today, especially this year. They've made such a huge difference in my whole demeanor and everything that we're actually enjoying the holidays, and it was really, really great. So we hope you all had a great New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
And my daughter is a professional dancer. She has a company called Active 8 Dance in
Niles.
Illinois. Give them some information on yours so in case they want to send their kids to your dance
Yeah,
academy.
so my co-founder and I, Kimmy, Elke and I, we both are the co-founders and directors of Activate Dance Company. We're based in Niles, Illinois. We're a nonprofit youth dance company, so we have open classes for any dancers that are looking to come and train with us, but then we also have a company that competes throughout the season and trains with us. So if you're looking for more information, you are more than welcome to take a look at activatedancecompany.com or follow us on Instagram, Facebook as well, Activate Dance Company, or you can also just follow me on social media, Ryanne A Dance. And yeah, if you're,
How do you spell that Activate? Because it has a nice...
Oh, yes, it's fancy. So it's ACTIV, the number 8, and then dancecompany.com. So, nice little spin on the word. But yeah, feel free to follow us and give us a look. Or if you have any dancers who are between the ages of like 6 and 18 that are in the area or are looking to do any training or competing, then they can come with us. And our goal is really to just provide high quality training, but at a low cost. Not everybody can afford the expensive demands of dancing competitively or training in general. So we're hoping to bring some great training, but at an affordable cost for families.
The legacy of my mom lives on, and her and some of her other talented siblings and cousins and stuff that you'll hopefully meet during the Letters to My Mother series. And thank you so much, Princess.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Thanks for coming on and for being a part of this with me. And I thank you all for taking the time out to listen. Share with someone if you want to. Let them know that I'm eventually going to try and do an Instagram live type thing where you all can actually reach out to me. And I just really, really love the fact of the matter that you're all responding so positively. So thank you. And I look forward to seeing and hearing from you all again on social media as you all take a journey with me when I'm reading Letters to My Mother. DJ Sam says, God bless. Much success. Oh, and Ryan too. In Jesus' name. Thank you. Peace.
Later, Gators.